What, dear? What's the matter?
Oh, I may as well tell you, I didn't get the suggestion box money.
But Charlie said...
He spoke too soon. No, I may still get it, but not before next quarter, if then.
But the rent, tomorrow's the last day.
What? Worried sick about it.
Here comes Barney. We'll talk later. Don't worry about it. We'll think of something.
Ride him, cowboy!
Whoa! Oh, Barney.
I'm gonna ride this Uncle Barney's trigger.
Then go take those skates off.
Them are spurs, ma'am.
Okay, but go take them off and come on in. Soup's on.
Yeah!
How about some oats for triggers?
More coffee, Barney?
Please. How'd you hurt your finger?
Oh, I pinched it in the washing machine.
That mean old washing machine is always coming apart and hurting Mom.
Shh, honey, eat your pie.
What's the matter with this coffee?
Oh, the cream's gone sour again. That old icebox. Can you drink it black tonight?
No, skip it.
I'm awful glad you're here, Uncle Barney.
Thanks, Sugarpuss.
After supper, you can fix my dollhouse.
Oh, I see. Now, all we need's a little glue.
Uncle Barney's a good fixer, isn't he, Daddy?
Huh?
I bet he can fix anything in this world.
Some things nobody can fix. Well, that all depends. I knew a fighter once, Bugsy Nugent. Fella asked him if he could play a zither. I don't know, says Bugsy. You don't know? No. How do I know till I try? I don't want to butt in, but if anything's bothering anybody... Sometimes a guy can do such a fool thing.
Oh, no. It was all my fault. If I hadn't wanted to go home so badly.
Remember, big ears.
It's time this little pitcher went to bed.
Not yet.
Now, say goodnight.
Good night, Uncle Barney.
Good night, Sugarpuss.
Good night, Daddy.
Good night, Suze.
I don't know why I always have to go to bed, just when things are getting interesting.
That little Susan's as smart as they come. Well, her dad's dumb enough. For Pete's sake, what's eating you? All right. You remember the last company picnic? Yes. Well, that's when it started. We all went. Ethel and I had fun for once, like a couple of kids. We went swimming. Then I got a boat and took her for a ride like we used to. Later, Ethel remembered the letter from her mother the mailman handed us. While she was reading it, I knew something was wrong without looking.
Dad and Mom's anniversary next weekend.
Good for them.
They've invited us down for it. Dan and Bert are going.
They can afford it.
I know.
Mommy, I want a dime for an ice cream cone.
But you just had one.
I want another. Karen's gonna have another. She's got a dime.
But, honey, we can't...
Hold the phone. Here.
Oh, thank you, Daddy. Come on, Karen.
So what's the matter with our whole life? Can't even give our daughter an extra dime for an ice cream cone. You have to put up with a washing machine that's always breaking down, an icebox that won't keep.
Darling, don't.
Now you can't even go to your folks' anniversary.
I don't care.
If we dared to tap the rent money, I'd...
You know we can't do that. We're on our last extension. I don't want to go, honest.
Yeah, I know why, too. Last time you said you wouldn't go back till you had a new hat and coat. Should have married a rich guy like your sister did.
Bert? Well, you're twice the man he is. Just because he inherited money and you inherited hospital bills. I think it's wonderful all you've done.
Just a minute there, young lady. This man bothering you?
Not much.
Hello, Charlie.
Can't have married people hugging in public. Give the picnic a bad name. Not that I blame you, Miss Roberts. Your boy's worth an extra 100 today.
Huh?
What do you mean?
Maybe I'm letting something out of the bag, but I got it straight. Old Norm here won the jackpot with that factory suggestion he turned in. $100. Oh, there's Tony. Well, I gotta go see a man about a monkey. Now, don't let anybody know I told you until the official announcement the 15th, huh?
Oh, what do you know?
They're wonderful. It's like a miracle.
Listen, honey. This is money we never expected to have. Just once, let's spend it like we wanted. Let's go to see your folks. The bus fare's only $50. That leaves us $50 for a hat and coat. Can you get them for that?
They're having sales. I can get a good coat for $35 and a hat for $5.
Well, that leaves $10 for incidentals. We could even take a present.
Oh, but you won't get the money until the 15th. And their anniversary is next weekend.
That's right. Hey, wait a minute. When's the rent due?
16th?
Sure. We borrow the rent money and go. Then we get it back on the 15th. On the 16th, we pay the rent. How's that?
Well...
Sold to the lady in the peppermint shirt. So that's how I made a monkey out of myself. We made the trip to Ethel's folks, and I will say we had the best time in years. But today's the 15th. You heard the announcement. The decision's postponed till next quarter, and tomorrow's the 16th. And you need $100 or be evicted.
I can see if they'll take the coat back. I only wore it a couple of days.
Well, they wouldn't do that, honey. Anyway, we couldn't get the bus fare back. If I had it... Now, look, I told you I didn't expect you to help.
Now, wait a minute. Have you tried the credit union yet?
At the plant? No.
Why not?
Well, I don't belong. I thought of joining a couple of times, but...
Would they let us join now when we're in trouble?
I don't see why not. It's for people in trouble. Now's the time you need it, isn't it?
Oh, it's too late now anyway. I've got to have the money tomorrow.
Get your hat. I'll drive you over to Halverson's and we'll see. He's the treasurer.
Yeah, well, but how are we going to go about this?
I'll tell you the rest in the car. Come on.
Is this credit union a company deal?
No. The company itself has nothing to do with it. They just let us use the room. It's organized by the employees and it's run by the employees. You have to work there to join. Of course, there are other credit unions. There's one right here at St. Luke's. Do you know that? No. A bunch of farmers out east of town organized one. Any group can organize a credit union that's united by a common bond. The town I came from, the postal employees had one.
Huh.
And it gives our members thrift and loan services right where they work. Take our factory. On payday, without going outside the plant, we can lay a little away in regular savings or pay back part of a loan if we have one.
Oh, it takes the place of banks.
Oh, no. We deposit the money we take in the bank, and if we lend out more than we have on hand, we borrow it from a bank or another credit union. It's a wonderful convenience. It helps people start saving who've never saved before. It stops garnishments and attachments and gives us our loans quickly when we need them. Here's Cliff's place. I see a light in the cellar. That's where he usually is nights, tinkering with something. Yeah, but what the Sam Hill is it, Cliff?
It's an electric eye check I'm working on for number 4 assembly. Supposed to kick off this box when it comes along loaded wrong. Like this. But I haven't worked it out right yet.
Well, is that part of it?
That? Oh, that's my daughter's record player that I have to fix. Well, what can I do for you fellas, huh?
Norm's a little pinch for rent money. Needs $100. I suggested we come and see you about a loan from the credit union.
Sure.
Just to have it by tomorrow, that's why we're bothering you tonight.
Oh, that's all right. Step into my office, huh? That's where I do my homework.
You know Norm's good for it.
Yeah, I think the credit committee will okay.
Look, don't I have to join something? I haven't even got money enough to join anything.
Got a quarter you can spare?
Well, yeah, I can do a little better than that.
All right. Let's make it 50 cents.
Okay.
Okay, sit down. Pull up something, sit down, will you, buddy?
Yeah.
Now, Norm, your first quarter is your entrance fee. You pay that once and once only. The other quarter will apply on your first share in the credit union. A full share is $5. You can pay for it a quarter each payday or faster if you want. You can own as many shares as you want. The more shares you have, the more dividends you earn. But as soon as you own any part of a share, you're a member in good standing. And borrow for any good purpose that's okayed by the credit committee. Well, Pete? It's Cliff. Yeah. Norm Roberts is at my house. Yeah, that's right, from engineering. Well, he's joining the credit union and he needs a loan of $100 right away. Yeah, that's what I thought. You call Sanders and Brickle, call me right back? I'll appreciate it. That's Pete Roebuck. He's the chairman of the credit committee. Sanders and Brickle are the other two. He'll check and call me back. We can work on this. Yeah, fill in this. This is your address, birthplace, wife's name, so forth. I'll do this here.
Well, how much is this loan going to cost? And how soon do I have to pay it back?
Oh, we can work it out any way to suit your convenience. I make this suggestion. Payday at the shop is weekly. Why don't you pay it back at $2 a payday? Interest is 1% per month on the unpaid portion. No other charges. On $100, your interest the first week would be 25 cents. Each week it gets less. Now let's see, that's 2 1/4. Now why don't you make it 2 1/2 each payday and let the rest of it go into your savings account? We try to get our members to save regularly, no matter how little.
It's a good thing, too. I've known guys who never saved a cent before.
Hello? Yes? Yes, please. Oh, that's fine. Thanks a lot, fella. Bye. It's okay. Credit committee will meet in the morning and approve it. You can drop by the office anytime after 8 o'clock and pick up your check. You just sign your name there.
Wonderful. Let's see here. Where do I sign? Oh, yeah, right here. X marks the spot, huh?
You might call it that. I prefer to think when you sign up with a credit union, that's your King's X.
King's X.
Mm-hmm. Remember from your history how it all started centuries ago when people were thrown in prison for debt? If you found favor with the king, he might send his messenger around to put an X on your door and the sign of the crown. And no one dared enter your house and take anyone for debt as long as it had the King's X. Well, that's what your credit union does for the homes of its members. It protects them in times of financial troubles.
King's X. Well, I'll be darned. I've heard that expression all my life, but I never knew the story before. All I knew was it meant you were safe.
There you are. And that's your passbook. Here's your application for the loan. You just sign it there.
I'll never see that sign again without thinking of King's X. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate both of you taking all this trouble for me tonight. Boy, what a load off my mind.
That's what friends are for.
I remember last winter I got the entire credit committee out of bed at 2 o'clock in the morning to okay a loan to keep a guy from going to jail. He and I and the sheriff sat right in my office till I got the money. As Barney says, that's what friends are for. And a credit union is just an organization of friends. That's why we're able to do what we did tonight. Barney knows you, and I know you. Pete, the rest of the committee know you from working with you. We know you're honest. Just because you suddenly become pinched for money doesn't mean you've suddenly become dishonest. Although a lot of organizations act that way. Oh, sure, they'll lend you a lead pencil if you give them your fountain pens and let them hold your watch till they get their pencil back. Now, there are 2 ways that your credit union looks at this thing differently. They don't believe when a fellow's in trouble that that's the time to take advantage of it. They think that that's the time to go easy on it. And secondly, they believe that a reputation for honesty is better than collateral. A house may burn down, or a car may get smashed or stolen. But a man who is honest will pay when he owes.
I feel a little silly staying away from the credit union until I was in trouble.
Oh, that's all right. We're used to that. That's how credit unions were born, out of human desperation. For years, there were the debtors' prisons, dark, slimy dungeons, where the chained victims had to fight off the rats to eat their horrible food. When it finally became evident that a man in jail is hardly in a position to pay up, the next step, if he happened to have insurance, was to drag the poor devil off to the auction block. There, the highest bidder bailed out the unfortunate, but in return acquired the policy, payable on the poor wretch's death. It's no wonder, considering the kind of men who bought up these things, that it usually wasn't long before the old guys came to sudden and violent ends. Before and after came the loan sharks, and so the world went. A few rich people, the rest living in debt all their lives. And then a little more than a century ago, in Bavaria, in a small town, the mayor got the rich to set up a fund from which the poor could borrow. But the idea didn't last long. The rich soon lost interest. Starving farmers called on the burgomaster. Crops had failed again, and their farms were in hock at such high rates they'd never pay out. He decided the only way was for the people to help themselves. Only those belonging to that farming community could borrow, and then only for productive purposes. The interest would be low, and a man's character his best security. That was the beginning of credit unions. In 1900, the first credit union was formed in Canada, then in the United States. Few at first, but year after year, more and more, faster and faster, like a snowball rolling downhill. Till now, there are thousands of groups with millions of members from coast to coast, in both the United States and Canada, and also in other countries. You know, Norm, lending money is only part of our service. Now that your immediate problem is solved, why don't you drop into the office at the shop and let us talk a little about money management, huh?
Okay. If you can tell me how to stretch a nickel any farther than I do, Ethel, my wife, is very thrifty too.
Just for fun, what do you call thrift?
Saving money.
Saving it how?
Oh, by not spending it.
Can you save money by spending it?
Huh?
Suppose you didn't have a refrigerator in your home. You'd either have to pay more for food in small quantities or see some of it go to waste. Either way, it costs you money to be without a refrigerator, right?
Yeah.
Well, now there are three ways to buy a refrigerator. Wait till you got the money to pay for it, buy it on the installment plan, or borrow the money from your credit union, pay cash, and save the extra charge of the installment buying. In other words, Norm, the money you work for, make it work for you.
Farmers in their credit unions borrow money for seed, fertilizers, tractors.
Industry members borrow money to buy a car to drive to work or to improve their homes. That's thrift. Besides, in most credit unions, both your savings and your loan are insured.
How do you mean?
Tell him about Eddie Plum.
Well, Eddie had a truck car. He bought a delivery truck with a loan from our credit union and was saving regularly when he got killed. He had saved over $1,000 in the credit union, but he still owed $1,200 on the truck.
And I suppose $1,000 helped to pay off the loan.
No, the loan was automatically paid off, and his widow got to keep the truck and continue the business.
And she kept $1,000 savings too.
More than that.
The credit union matched his $1,000 with another $1,000 through its insurance.
Instead of being broken with no income, the widow had the truck free and clear and $2,000 besides.
And this insurance cost Eddie nothing extra. It was part of the credit union service.
Well, I could kick myself for not being in on this before.
Well, better late than never.
Hey, it works!
Do you know that your house really looks nice?
Thanks.
Say, that isn't a new refrigerator, is it?
Yes.
Norm get a raise?
Not exactly. We're just getting more work out of his paycheck.
You look the best I've ever seen you.
Maybe it's peace of mind. Or maybe it's my back condition. I haven't been to the doctor since we got rid of that old washer.
New washing machine, too. I'd settle for a new vacuum cleaner, but Al thinks he's got to have a car worse.
I know what you mean. Norm said the other night, when you get right down to it, the difference between just living and really enjoying life, for most folks, is maybe the difference of a few $100s.
You're so right.
And just that much difference we get out of our credit union. Golly, it's getting late. Norm will be home any minute.
King's X.
I don't see why they don't have a credit union where Al works.
They will. When enough people in any group find out what they're missing, they start one.